The global wheat market is undergoing a dramatic shift. For decades, the U.S. was the world's wheat powerhouse, feeding nations and driving economies. But now, international buyers are increasingly rejecting U.S. wheat shipments, a trend that's shaking the industry. Canada is stepping up, attracting buyers with promises of higher quality and reliability. Canadian ports are busier than ever, shipping wheat to markets the U.S. once dominated. This isn't just a temporary blip, it's a fundamental realignment in global grain trade. For American farmers, rejected shipments mean lost income and uncertainty. For international buyers, the choice is about quality and consistency. We'll explore why U.S. wheat is being rejected, how Canada is capitalizing, and what this means for the future of global trade. This is more than a story about grain. It's about reputation, trust, and the shifting balance of agricultural power. Why is U.S. wheat facing increased rejection on the global market? What are the underlying factors contributing to this concerning trend? Quality. It all boils down to quality. The consistent quality that international buyers expect is simply not being met consistently by U.S. wheat shipments. International buyers demand consistent protein levels for their products. It's a critical factor in determining the suitability of wheat for various end uses, from bread making to noodle production. And this is something recent U.S. harvests have struggled to deliver. Fluctuations in protein content have become a significant issue. Weather and farming changes, including increasingly unpredictable weather patterns, are playing a significant role. These factors have led to more variable and often lower protein content in U.S. wheat crops. This inconsistency makes it difficult for buyers to rely on U.S. wheat for their specific processing needs. Another issue impacting acceptability: foreign material. The presence of unwanted substances is a growing concern. More U.S. shipments are arriving with unwanted seeds, which can affect the milling process and the quality of the final product. And it's not just seeds. Chaff or even pebbles are being found in shipments, adding to the problem. This is forcing buyers to pay for extra cleaning to remove these impurities, adding to their costs and reducing the attractiveness of U.S. wheat. Mycotoxins, mold toxins, are also a significant concern, posing a health risk to consumers. The presence of mycotoxins is triggering strict food safety rejections, as countries prioritize the health and safety of their populations. Trade policies and tariffs can also make U.S. wheat less attractive financially, impacting its competitiveness in the global market. This is especially true when Canadian wheat is cheaper or easier to import, offering a more cost-effective alternative for buyers. Global consumers are increasingly demanding higher quality food with stricter standards for safety and nutritional value. As a result, millers are actively seeking suppliers who can guarantee premium wheat that meets these elevated expectations. The U.S. grain system, traditionally built for volume and efficiency, often blends wheat from many different farms, which can inadvertently dilute the overall quality and consistency of the final product. In contrast, Canada's system is designed to keep lots separate, maintaining distinct quality profiles. This approach allows for better preservation of identity and quality, ensuring that buyers receive the specific characteristics they are looking for. Ultimately, buyers want predictability and reliability in their wheat supply. And right now, U.S. wheat isn't always delivering on that promise, leading to disappointment and a search for alternative sources. The result? A shift in the global wheat market. More and more buyers are turning north to Canada, seeking a more dependable supply of high-quality wheat. Canadian wheat consistently meets their exacting standards, providing the assurance they need for their products. The U.S. must address these quality and system issues head-on if it wants to remain a major player in the global wheat market. Rebuilding trust with international buyers is paramount, and that requires a commitment to consistent quality and reliability. Otherwise, the trend of rejections, and the negative consequences that come with it, and lost market share, will only continue to grow, further eroding the U.S. position in the global market. The stakes are high, not just for American farmers and exporters, but for the entire U.S. agricultural economy. The world is watching closely to see how the U.S. responds to these challenges and whether it can regain its competitive edge in the global wheat market. The numbers confirm the shift. A significant change is underway in the global wheat market, and the data paints a clear picture. U.S. wheat exports have stagnated or declined over the past 5 years, showing a concerning trend for American producers. This decline isn't just a minor fluctuation, it represents a consistent pattern of reduced export volume. Despite rising global demand, The world's appetite for wheat is growing, yet the U.S. is failing to capitalize on this increasing need. This disconnect raises serious questions about competitiveness and market strategy. Canada, meanwhile, is gaining ground, aggressively expanding its presence in key international markets. Their strategic approach to exports is proving successful, especially in Asia and Latin America. These regions represent significant growth opportunities, and Canada is positioning itself to be a primary supplier. In some markets, Canadian wheat sales have jumped 15 to 20%, demonstrating a substantial increase in market penetration. This surge in sales highlights Canada's growing influence. Taking business directly from the U.S., this direct competition is impacting American farmers and exporters, leading to a loss of revenue and market share. High-protein wheat is at the center of this battle, with quality and consistency playing a crucial role in securing contracts. With Canada's Western Red Spring increasingly beating out U.S. Dark Northern Spring, the preference for Canadian wheat underscores the importance of meeting specific market demands. Buyers are willing to pay more for Canadian wheat's consistency and reliability. This premium reflects the value placed on predictable quality in the global market. Every lost contract means millions in lost revenue for the U.S., a significant economic blow to the agricultural sector, impacting farmers, transporters, and port workers. The ripple effect of these losses extends throughout the entire supply chain. The data backs up what buyers and sellers are saying, providing concrete evidence of the shifting dynamics in the wheat trade. Canada is winning where it counts. They are successfully capturing market share and establishing themselves as a dominant player. The U.S. can no longer rely on its past dominance. Complacency is not an option in this increasingly competitive landscape. The competition is fierce, and the stakes are enormous. The future of the U.S. wheat industry hangs in the balance. The numbers don't lie. They offer an undeniable truth about the current state of affairs. Market share is shifting north. This northward trend represents a fundamental change in the global wheat market. What sets Canadian wheat apart? Consistency. Canada's federal grain grading system enforces strict standards for protein, moisture, and cleanliness. Buyers know exactly what they're getting with Canadian wheat. The U.S. system is more decentralized, leading to greater variability from shipment to shipment. For millers, even small inconsistencies mean costly adjustments. Canadian wheat's uniformity is a major selling point for industrial buyers. Price isn't everything. Buyers look at the total value, including risk. The risk of U.S. shipments being rejected or underperforming adds hidden costs. Canadian wheat is seen as a safer bet, even if it costs more upfront. Interviews with international buyers reveal a clear preference for Canada's reliability. U.S. wheat is still in demand, but it's viewed as less predictable. The real challenge for the U.S. is rebuilding trust in its system, not just its grain. In global trade, reputation is everything. For U.S. wheat farmers, these rejections hit home, striking at the heart of their livelihoods and reputations. It's a bitter pill to swallow after months of hard work and dedication. Many feel they're growing quality crops, pouring their expertise and resources into producing the best possible wheat. They take pride in their work and the quality of their harvest, only to be let down by a system that blends and dilutes their efforts. The current system, they argue, doesn't adequately reward or recognize the farmers who consistently produce top-tier wheat. Some are shifting focus, carefully evaluating their options, and making strategic decisions for the future. Growing higher protein varieties, responding to market demands, and seeking to capture premium prices. This shift requires new investments and a different approach to farming, or investing in on-farm storage to preserve quality, giving them more control over their product and allowing them to market it directly to buyers. Exporters are under pressure too. They're caught in the middle, facing scrutiny from both farmers and international buyers. They're tightening quality controls, implementing more rigorous testing procedures, and investing in advanced technology to ensure consistency, and working closely with suppliers to meet contract specs, fostering stronger relationships and demanding greater accountability. But cost pressures and a complex supply chain make quick fixes tough. The global wheat market is a tangled web of logistics, regulations, and economic factors. There's a push for systemic change, a growing consensus that the current system needs a fundamental overhaul, reforming grading and handling, to better reflect the true quality of U.S. wheat and ensure fair compensation for farmers, and improving communication with buyers, fostering transparency, and building stronger relationships based on trust and mutual understanding. In the short term, exporters are focused on damage control and rebuilding trust. They are working to regain the confidence of international buyers who have been impacted. They're reassuring customers that the U.S. is committed to quality, emphasizing the steps being taken to address the issues and prevent future problems. The message: the U.S. knows there's a problem and is working to fix it. It's a commitment to continuous improvement and a dedication to meeting the needs of global customers. Farmers and exporters alike know that survival means adapting, embracing innovation, and working together to overcome the challenges ahead, to a tougher, more demanding market. The global landscape is constantly evolving, and those who fail to adapt will be left behind. The stakes are personal and urgent. The future of U.S. wheat depends on it. For international buyers, predictability is everything. Modern mills need wheat that performs the same way every time. Canadian wheat delivers that consistency. Protein levels, cleanliness, and performance are all reliable. U.S. wheat, by contrast, is seen as riskier, sometimes great, sometimes not. Buyers factor in the cost of extra testing, cleaning, and production hiccups. A slightly pricier Canadian shipment that runs smoothly is often more profitable than a cheaper, inconsistent U.S. load. Canada also invests in customer support, building strong relationships and trust. Buyers feel heard and valued by Canadian suppliers. This level of engagement is winning over customers who once defaulted to the U.S. In today's market. Performance and partnership matter most. The fallout from lost wheat exports ripples across U.S. agriculture. Lower demand means lower prices and tighter margins for farmers. Some are switching to other crops, changing the face of rural economies. The vast U.S. grain infrastructure, elevators, railroads, ports, relies on high export volumes. As wheat shipments decline, these systems face underutilization and financial strain. The reputation hit extends beyond wheat, raising doubts about other U.S. ag exports. Financial institutions may tighten credit, making it harder for farmers to invest in improvements. U.S. trade negotiators lose leverage as America's status as a food exporter weakens. The challenge is bigger than wheat. It's about restoring faith in American agriculture. The U.S. must act to protect its global standing in rural communities. The world is watching how America responds. The U.S. wheat industry is fighting back. One solution: overhaul the grain handling system to preserve identity and quality from farm to port. Breeders are developing new wheat varieties with higher, more consistent protein and milling qualities. Marketing organizations are ramping up outreach, inviting foreign buyers to see U.S. farms and providing transparent crop data. The goal: rebuild trust and show commitment to quality. Policy support is also key, investing in infrastructure and trade policies that open new markets. Farmers, exporters, and breeders are working together for a coordinated response. The challenge is huge, but the industry knows what's at stake. Regaining market share will require systemic change and collaboration. The U.S. can't afford to stand still. The future of American wheat depends on bold action now. The U.S. wheat story is a lesson in global trade realities. Reputation and reliability now matter as much as price. Canada's rise shows that quality and customer partnership can topple even the biggest players. For the U.S., this is a wake-up call: adapt or fall behind. Solutions exist, but they require industry-wide commitment and change. Watch export data, quality initiatives, and price trends for signs of progress. The future of U.S. wheat and its role in global agriculture depends on listening to customers and delivering what they need. Complacency is not an option. The world's wheat buyers have spoken. Quality, consistency, and trust are non-negotiable. The next chapter for American wheat will be written by those who can adapt and lead in a changing world.